Hi everybody, Chardy here and welcome to another episode of BPO Talks with Job Yoda. And today makakasama po natin ang isang talent acquisition manager.
Yeah.
Tapos dalawang directors ng Foundever. Please go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hello, good morning everyone. So my name is Jep Moneda. So I am one of the sourcing directors of Foundever. I've been with the company for 5 years already.
So hi everyone, my name is Carlo. I'm one of the sourcing managers of Foundever. I've been in the company for 2 years.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Joy de la Cruz. I'm one of the sourcing directors as well.
It's giving me news anchor, no? Ganun yung atake. Sige, so we have Jeff, Carlo, and Joy. Okay, now my very first question is, this is coming from someone na hindi ko din alam kung anong nangyari. Why is it Foundever now?
The company decided to have a new name, which is Foundever.
Okay.
So why Foundever? It's simply because this is a founder-driven organization.
Okay. Tapos may narinig ako kanina na pag-usapan na dito mo maano daw? Here you will
see your forever in Foundever.
Here you will found your forever daw. Kaya siya naging Foundever. Sige. For sure, the three of you did not... working in the BPO is not your first job, di ba? Tayong tatlo. I mean, actually tayong apat. Kayo lang pala. I started working in the BPO at the age of 18. Sige, let's start with you, Carlos, since nasa iyo naman na yung mic. What was your first job prior to working in the BPO?
Actually, after graduation, I really like sales. I really like talking to people, like more in marketing. So I tried to venture out advertising companies and I've worked there as a marketing department head. I was so focused with advertising and sales and all, and I forgot to enjoy the job. So I actually shifted career after that one.
Nung nasa advertising ka pa, medyo naririnig-rinig mo na yung call center or BPO. Ano yung perception mo about the job?
Well, to be honest and to avoid hypocrisy, I'm not really a fan of BPO before. I'm one of those individuals who've been criticizing BPO as some place that is not right for bachelor's degree holders. Someone who is a graduate of a prestigious universities and someone who's very driven to get a career right away. So that was my perception way back when I was starting in my career as a marketing department head, because I really thought that BPO is for someone who settles for less. That's a fact.
Hala, grabe naman siya, oh. But now that you're working in the BPO, what changed?
Actually, one thing has changed back then because of a certain individual who taught me how to do phone interviews. It was not really my intention to do interviews, but because of my voice, they made fun of me and they gave me a challenge to do the phone interview. And then it so happened that I enjoyed it. So when I was there, at that very moment when I received the first thank you from an applicant, I felt like it was the career that's supposed to happen for me.
Now that you're working in the BPO, what changed about your perception na this is for those people who didn't even finish college?
To be honest, I've had a lot of eye-opener when I started working in the talent acquisition of BPO industry. I've seen several people, all walks of life, who've been successful in this industry. And from then, I realized that I didn't really have to undermine the capacity of BPO industry to provide growth, opportunities, and even financial stability. Because I've seen a lot of idols, a lot of role models who've influenced me to be a better person right now and to be a better manager as of this time.
Thank you, contestant number one. I really could not agree more kasi I also had that impression before. Though when I reached 18, my first job was really working for Sykes, now Foundever. Tapos, I have this friend na in-invite ko siya to work in the same company because kakagraduate niya lang nun sa college and she's working for a prestigious broadcasting company. Tapos, palagi siyang nagko-complain how little the sahod is. Palagi yung sinasabi sa akin na hindi daw tugma yung nare-receive niya compared to the effort, time, and ang tawag dito? Effort, time, and yung trabaho mismo, hindi daw tugma sa nare-receive niya na sahod. When I told her about working for our company, sabi niya, bakit naman ako magtatrabaho dyan nakapag-finish ako ng bachelor's degree. Few months after I saw her in the recruitment hub, I interviewed her, she got the job. Tapos kinausap ko siya after that. Tapos parang sabi niya, actually hindi kita sinabihan na mag-a-apply ako because ayokong mapahiya because I told you about me not being interested in working in the BPO kasi nga I had my diploma na. Tapos sabi ko sa kanya, you know the good thing about BPO is we won't judge you. Yung mga yung ibang tao lang yung judge sa trabaho. And what's very fun is doesn't really matter kung ano yung tinapos mo, IT graduate ka ba, medical, HRM. Once you work in the BPO, kahit hindi tugma yung course mo, even if you're an IT graduate, you don't have a choice but to be an accountant if malagay ka man sa banking na account. Even if you are not an IT graduate, you have to learn how to do technical issues and technical things if mapunta ka man sa technical na account. So, I like that we're talking about it kasi yan yung palaging sinasabi nila eh. Working in the BPO industry is a no-brainer job. When in fact, hindi po siya madali.
Agree.
Di ba? I think sinabi nyo lang yun kasi hindi kayo nakapasa sa initial interview. No, I'm kidding. Nangaway. Sige, eto naman. Let's go with you, Jeff. Mm-hmm. You've been working for Foundever 5 years.
5 years.
Di ba? What was your previous job?
Previous job was a medical representative.
Mm-hmm.
So I market drugs. So
okay, it's not the drug that
the legal drugs.
Iniisip nyo Hindi po siya ginagamitan ng credit card.
So I did that for 1 year. Okay. So handling the area of Bicol, south part of Luzon. Mm-hmm. And what I find interesting about it, I mean connecting it to my work right now, it's really similar because during when I was a med rep, so I'm marketing a product. Mm-hmm. Right now in Foundever, with the work that I do, I market jobs. Mm-hmm. And what's fulfilling about the thing that I do right now is that I'm helping the other people or the Filipino people to find the work and earn money for their families and
that I can agree. Kasi working for Job Yoda, the number 1 BPO job platform in the Philippines, naisingit ko yun, di ba? Kasi it's just very fulfilling aside from as of course, we are earning enough or sometimes even more than enough from what we do. It's really knowing that you've helped a family. Hindi lang kasi yung nakapasok yung natulungan mo eh. Right. You are helping someone who's supporting a family.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's very fulfilling. Now, pag-usapan naman natin this time yung I'm not sure who's gonna answer this. Pero pag-usapan naman natin ngayon yung difference between BPO and call center. Kasi palaging tinatanong sa akin yan eh. Every time I upload up something on my social media, palagi nilang tinatanong, ano bang kaibahan ng BPO or call center? Who's gonna answer this? Crew. Sige.
Okay, so typically there's always a confusion between the two. So we just have to understand that call center means they focus on telecommunication services. But for BPO, they offer several services. So there's a lot of services like back-end admins and etc. So if you want to dig deeper, you need to like really further understand what they can offer. Kasi we keep on telling na either BPO or call center, we're okay. But we have to understand where are we going to apply. Because if we are not fully aware ng establishment or ng industry that we're entering, talagang magsa-struggle tayo during interviews. So first, you need to be ready and prepared.
when we say call center, kasi from the word call, most likely it's really you calling the customer or the customer calling your center for a service. And a call center can be a BPO. But a BPO, pwede siyang hindi call center. When I say BPO kasi, it's a third-party company. Let's say for example, magpangalan tayo ng brand. Let's say for example, PLDT. Si PLDT wala siyang sariling call center. So mag-hire siya ng isang BPO company para lahat ng mga tatawag regarding the service sa PLDT, doon mako-connect sa company.
That's
so para
right.
siyang third party. Now, a BPO, sabi nga ni Carlo kanina, a BPO can be back-end. Meaning to say, hindi naman kailangan ng call. Marami kasing nagtatanong, kasi sir, ako po, I know how to communicate in English pero mas comfortable ako when it's chat compared to talking. Sa BPO po kasi hindi siya call lang eh. There are accounts and projects that offers chat support, back-end, email, di ba? Meron naman. And for sure, may ino-offer na ganyan si Foundever. But before that, let's proceed to Joy. Kasi si Joy dito, nakaganon lang. Oh.
Kala ko hindi ako kasali.
Hoy! Naging background. Sige, Joy, you've been working in the industry, like sa BPO industry for how long again? For
almost 10 years.
For almost 10 years. For almost a decade. What's the most fulfilling part na masasabi mo about you working in this industry?
Yeah, I started with the BPO industry. I think that was 2013 or 14. So started with sourcing or recruitment. That's why, well, siguro kagaya ng sinabi ni Jeff, what's very fulfilling is that you're helping your countrymen find, build a better life through the opportunities that we are offering. So it was instilled in me. So ngayon, pag nakikita mo ngayon na nakakatulong ka, parang hindi ka na nagtatrabaho. 'Di ba? Parang it's part of our job to help people, which is very fulfilling for us. At least for me. And I know for my teammates din. Kasi I think as a company or as a team in talent acquisition, that's one of our benefit. 'Di ba? Nagtatrabaho ka na, nakakatulong ka pa.
Totoo yan. Tapos yung BPO industry din kasi isa siya sa pinaka-stable na industry dito sa Philippines. Example, during the pandemic, when a lot of industries, di ba, nag-slow down yung iba, ang iba nga, nagsara pa. The BPO industry kept the economy afloat. In fact, mas dumami pa nga, di ba? Grabe yung hiring during the pandemic. Especially yung sa food industry, yung sa delivery. Because we are very flexible. Nung during the pandemic, did you guys offer a work from home setup?
Yes.
You did?
Yes, we did. And I think it's one of the key area kung bakit naging successful and sustainable yung BPO. Kasi I think we spearheaded yung work from home setup. Mm-hmm. At least for some of the companies during the pandemic, the BPO industry provided a lot of opportunities, even if the other industries are quite slowing down. So, I think that's one of the strengths. And I think moving forward, for the industry, they're looking at that, at least for some of the players in the industry.
Awesome. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. This is for the three of us. Because isa sa pinaka palagi nilang sinasabi, working in the BPO industry is a no-brainer job. What is your say about it? So let's start with you, Joy.
I beg to differ. There's a lot of competent people here. So I started my career in a bank and then work with a multinational company. But then again, the difference siguro, it's very fast-paced sa BPO. There's a lot of competent people and it's very diverse. Unlike sa ibang industry na, let's say for the banking industry, there are good people pero really really focused and specialized sa banking. Here in BPO, parang there's a lot of really good talent across all industries, across all verticals. So I think it's not an easy job for you to land and it's not an easy company for you not to be competitive.
Very well said, contestant number 3. Sige, balik tayo sa contestant number 1, Carlo.
Okay. To be honest, working in a BPO, I've realized that there's a lot of opportunities for everybody to grow. So all facets of experiences has been offered in this industry. So it's not typically, you will not be only boxed to a certain training, but to a more exposed experience that you will be able to experience diverse personalities of clients, customers, and other stakeholders. And at the same time, your personal growth will also be triggered. Kasi sa iba kasi, like, we have this what they call the singular path na hire, after you got hired, you will be trained, and then after training, you will do your job, and then that's gonna be the routine, the entire experience. But here in BPO, you will be challenged to move forward for innovations, for upskilling, for training, because every single day there's a challenge for opportunities. And that's when I realized that BPO is not something that you just take easy, but it's something that you need to invest in, because you have to be good. You have to be competent. You have to be skillful. So for those people like me before who've been treating BPO as a no-brainer, I'm telling you, it's time to wake up. And this is the booming industry that you should be in.
Thank you, contestant number 1. Grabe yung apakadami yung ginamit na words na hindi ko maintindihan. Yung facets, yan ba yung nilalabasan ng tubig? Is that it? No, it's okay. I totally understand. Tapos, totoo yung sinabi mo, especially, hindi ka pwedeng mag-apply sa BPO just because magaling ka mag-English. You have to be ready. Kahit nga emotionally, you have to be ready. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, matatawag mo lahat ng Panginoon, especially when you start working. Especially customer service, telco pa yung account mo. Diyos ko dahi. Tawagin mo lahat ng mga santos. Kasi it's gonna be a tough battle. Pero, because I've worked for telco before, pero masasabi ko naman na once makapag-work ka sa telco, after that, kahit saang account ka pa ilagay, feeling mo kayang-kaya mo na, you can conquer the world. Sige, contestant number 2.
Okay. So for me, same as the first two. No? So I beg to disagree that this is a no-brainer job. Because again, I came from another industry, a pharmaceutical company. And I can say that there's no difference, because when I was doing the job, my previous work in a pharmaceutical company, I put effort into it. I did my best, and I did my everything to really deliver the expectation of the company. And when I joined the BPO industry, it's no difference. There are set target that needs to be delivered. There are things that you need to follow, or the guidelines, the rules, the company policies and everything. So it's basically the same. So if you're thinking, for everyone watching this, so if you're thinking that this is a no-brainer job, this is basically just the same. You can build the career here with us in our company, similar to how you build your career in other industries as well.
And if you also notice, thank you so much, contestant number 2. If you also notice, these are people who came from different industries. We have banking, we have marketing, we have pharmaceuticals. And that only is such a strong testament or testimony that working in the BPO industry is really for everyone. Doesn't really matter how young or old you are. Doesn't really matter what's your gender or your sexual preference or what religion, your skin color. Because here in this industry, you are not being judged on your preference or on your physical abilities or how you look like, because at the end of the day, what really matters is if you are capable of doing the job and if you are really dedicated in doing the job. Because we've mentioned earlier, hindi siya para sa mga mahihina ang loob, hindi siya para sa mga quitters, because here you will be tested. And once you are tested, para kang minomold into a fine diamond. Here, if you want to be part of the recruitment industry, you can. If you want to be part of the operations, you can. If you want to be part of training, you can. Here are the opportunities. It's endless. You just really have to make sure that you build yourself up and make sure that you do your best. Now, let's talk about Foundever. That's how we pronounce the brand. Foundever, because I thought it's found ever. Sige, let's talk about the company. What Kasi same kayong tatlo recruiters eh. Sige, depende na sa inyo kung sino yung sasagot. Hiring people. Let's talk about hiring people. What do you prefer? Skill or attitude?
Yeah.
Ayan. Sige, Joy.
Well, ideally both. So,
Both.
pero kung may preference, choosing one over the other, it's the attitude. Kasi skills can be learned, while attitude, maybe it's something that's fundamental for somebody to acquire those skills. Yep.
Yep, agree.
Could not agree
Same
more.
answer. So again, so like what Joy mentioned, it's really, if we can have both, that's the ideal, attitude and skills. But if we will have to choose between the two, it's really attitude. Because again, there are foundational trainings that the hires will undergo to learn the skills. And again, attitude is not something that you can teach someone, so that's something that's fundamental, like what Joy mentioned. Yeah.
Totoo. And the purpose of this podcast is really for people to know Foundever, to learn more about Foundever rather, and why should they work for Foundever. Now, I would like to know, how is Foundever when it comes to work-life balance? Kasi palagi kong sinasabi sa mga tao, when you apply for a job, just don't apply for a company because some website says they are the number one company. At the end of the day, your company is like your second home. You're gonna work there 5 times a week. You're gonna be there sometimes 8 hours, sometimes 12 hours, depende kung may OT pa. So it's like your second home, and it's very important that when you work, you are comfortable. Kung saan ka man magtatrabaho. So, how is Foundever when it comes to work-life balance?
Actually, just
Bakit parang hindi ka sure?
I was not sure who wanted to share
Sige.
first. But here in Foundever, we've seen a lot of programs established for us to promote work-life balance. Apart from the friendly environment, if you will be able to visit our ops, our operations or production sites, you'll be able to really see the interactive operations team. They have several setups and theme parks per se. When you enter their operations, it's very interactive, that it feels like you're not really working, but it's just a park and you're just talking to your colleagues. And then apart from that, we have our wellness programs that are being promoted to all agents that are also would like to enjoy life while working. And we cannot deny the fact that there are also ones who's been challenged emotionally, mentally, and because of their exhaustion. And it's a fact. That's why our company also acknowledged that fact. They offer the free sessions for the psychotherapy to give them time to vent out and share their frustrations, and also provide guidance on how to carry on yung buhay. Because life is life. So you just have to make sure na kakayanin, titigil, magpapahinga, pero hindi hihinto.
Okay. May mga paganong program pala si Foundever for those that are emotionally stressed already. Kasi nga totoo naman din, magtrabaho ka sa isang call center, hindi talaga siya madali. First is your body clock will be changed. Most likely, though there are accounts that are in the morning shift. Pero most of the time talaga, yung ina-assist kasi natin from North America. So your body clock will be changed. And aside from that, kakaupo mo pa lang sa station mo tapos mumurahin ka na ni customer. Diba? So, yeah, you will be tested talaga emotionally, spiritually. Lahat na ng maili, you will be tested. So I think it's very important that we have that kind of session here in Foundever for you to release your stress. Pwede bang manampal? May masasampal ka ba doon pag stress na stress ka?
Virtual kasi.
Okay. Yung screen,
It's
yung
more
mouse.
na virtual
Oo, yung mouse. No,
session.
yung
mouse na lang.
Okay. Now,
Yung katabi mo.
yung katabi mo. Sige, HR ka pagkatapos niyan. Okay, sige. Now, another thing that I would like to ask is, eto naman, more of an inspiring story because you've mentioned, Carlo, ikaw yung may pinaka mababang experience dito eh. pinaka-konti rather. 2 years.
Yep.
You started working in Foundever as?
Actually, just to share backstory about it, I tried applying for Foundever for 3 times. So the first one, it was a recruitment manager, and I was not identified because I lacked some few experience. And then another applied for another site, but I failed to go, so I was not considered. And I tried the third time, I got the role of a sourcing supervisor. My background is more on recruitment. So I was really hesitant whether I'll be able to play good with the role because I'm more of a recruitment person. So sourcing is something that's really new to me. But I tried and take on the challenge. But with the guidance, I was so surprised because way back in my province, when I was working in BPO, the environment was very toxic. The managers was not really accommodating to me. They don't know how to train. They don't know how to really provide guidance to me.
Spill the name. Spill the tea. Who's that?
Yeah. But here... oh, sorry. But actually here, I was so surprised because all the managers who've handled me, especially Boss Joy, my director. So the managers was able to give me a chance to really open up myself, deliver my thoughts, like give me a chance to practice what I think is best for my team. So I was given the opportunity to do that. And as a sourcing supervisor, I was really able to expand my horizon. Probably that's the reason why I was also given the opportunity to grow. Within a year, I was offered the role of sourcing manager. So it's really a surprise news for me because in the recruitment industry, it's not that easy to like really move up right away as early as 1 year. But here in the company of Foundever, I was able to see that growth. Even for financial growth, I've seen that. So I can attest that in my 2 years, I've experienced a lot. So I'm looking forward for the next few years.
Bongga naman ng financial growth. Kaya pala kanina pagpunta kong site, nakita ko siya naka BMW. In fairness. In just 2 years, congratulations, Carl.
That's good.
That is also one.
Just to share, all of us were promoted actually.
Wow.
All of us. So previously, and actually for me, it's the first time for all the BPO companies that I've joined. Dito lang ako sa Foundever na promote.
Director ka na ngayon, di ba? One of the directors. Kayong dalawa.
Yes.
Very good. And I think that's one of the best things about working in the BPO industry. Kasi here, you will be promoted because you're able to do your job. You performed. Hindi katulad sa ibang industries that you will only be promoted because you have the diploma.
Yep.
Di ba? Very good.
Just to add, I think it's the culture that siguro special mention to our boss, Willie Lim.
Kaya pala na-promote.
Yeah,
Boss.
kasi pero seryoso really forged a culture of growth and competency. So di naman kami pinabayaan in terms of training, in terms of coaching. And then if you perform well, then there's a reward system talaga. So I think that's one thing that's helping everybody, at least for the recruitment team, just to for each of the individual to excel talaga.
And it's also very fulfilling na alam mong hindi lang ikaw yung na-promote pero pati yung mga kasama mo.
Yeah, ang dami namin.
Diba?
And also just to share, promotion is not intended for tenured ones only, but for those who are really performers. Kasi I'm just 26 and who would have thought that I'll get this
Really?
promotion?
I'm 24.
Magkakabatch pala tayo dito.
Di ba?
Pero like,
There's a 22.
like totoo, like for those young leaders out there who would like to experience growth as early as your age, I think this is the right platform and company that you should work for.
Right. Thank you so much, Carlo. Now, this is for Jeff naman. Have you conducted some interviews pa?
No, actually.
No, you don't. Sa sourcing ka lang talaga. Okay. Eh, di hindi to para sa'yo. Para pala to sa next. Sige. Pero, hindi pag-usapan natin yung promotion mo.
Yeah, sure.
You are now one of the directors, di ba?
Yes.
Sa, which department is this again?
Sourcing.
Sa sourcing. Prior to you being one of the sourcing directors, ano yung position mo before?
I was a senior manager.
Senior manager.
Sourcing as well. So.
Sa sourcing. Pero what do you think is the key para mag-climb sa corporate ladder?
Well, I can say that one of the key or one of the ways that I have done just to reach this is really to focus on the goals that are being set to you, the expectation. It should be clear to you. Focus on those goals that are set. Find ways on how you can deliver it. Plan for it. Execute well, and then you do post-mortem report to see how you have delivered that. Because of course, upon delivering the goals that has been set to you, primarily, there will be another set of goals and another and another. So that's why you have to, to plan, to execute, and then you review after. Because your review after the execution on the first implementation, you will learn from that and maybe pick some pieces that you can use in the next set of goals that you need to deliver to. So if you are consistently delivering or setting or delivering the expectation of the company and the management, for sure you'll get up the ladder. So for me, I think that's one of the things that you should focus on. So there are a lot of things that maybe distract you going to your goal. But again, eyes on the ball, focus on the goal, execute well, and then review. Yeah.
That is very helpful, especially to those that are working in the industry already and would like to climb the corporate ladder. Because learning is never ending kasi talaga. And also, I think it's very important that we're talking about promotion. Kasi may mga, before, I know some people na okay na sila magtrabaho sa call center as a customer service representative. That's it. But the thing is, yeah, you love your job. But if you keep on doing the same thing over and over again, going to work can be very dragging. So if you want to be motivated, if you want to have a drive to keep on working, at least set a goal for yourself para at least may motivation ka to really strive and to really execute what you've mentioned, because I think that's very important. I also like what you've mentioned, that aside from you planning and executing, it's important that you assess yourself, you review, did I do the right thing? What are the things that I can be better at? Para the next time that you execute another thing or another person yung in-execute. Para the next time that you execute another whatever that is that you're asked to execute, you are already better at it. I like that. Now, eto naman na question for those that don't have the experience just yet, but they want to try working in Foundever. Kasi na-mention natin kanina dito sa Foundever that we have this program na kapag ang isang interviewee hindi nakapasa, they have the option to enroll to an academy wherein they will be trained, or their language skills will be trained, and then they will undergo another interview para makapasa sila. So let's talk about it.
Actually, we have this training program that we are offering to all applicants. This does not limit to our shifters or candidates who have working experiences. It's also open for candidates who would like to start their career. So we cannot change the fact that there are a lot of those fresh graduates who are very anxious and nervous when they apply, and also they are not sure with their skill sets. So what we do is, after their first set of application process, and if we see that they failed the assessments, particularly on their language skills, what we do is we enroll them to our language academy program. So there are several classes that we are offering for the language academy. There are classes that would take within a day. There are classes that would take with 3 days. And also there are classes within the week that will focus on their language, specific language skills. This is a targeted training in order for us to help them pass the assessment, pass the interviews, and get the job offer. And surprisingly, believe it or not, our pass rates for the Language Academy graduates are ranging around 80 to 90%.
Wow.
So
Very good.
Yeah, the same team that's conducting that training is actually doing some partnership in the community. So yung mga depressed areas natin, pupunta sila doon. Actually, that training is intended for us to bridge the gap between the competencies of those masabi natin di gano'ng nakapag-aral, high school graduates or all, augmenting their skills, not only their skills but their language proficiency, para etong mga kababayan natin na medyo kulang sa aral, medyo kulang sa payak yung pamumuhay lang. Matulungan din natin na mag-improve yung buhay nila through this program, and we're really investing in it.
Grabe, Foundever, marami din pala dito mga philanthropists, no? Because aside from hiring people, they also do community work. I like that. Anyone can enroll naman.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's for free.
Yep.
Okay, very good.
So it's basically giving equal opportunity to everyone. For those who finish studies, for those who didn't. So it's really giving equal opportunity to everyone and help them get a job to earn money for them.
I like that. Walang tapon. So if I fail the interview, I have the option to enroll to that language academy so that I can hone my language, and when I'm ready, I will undergo another interview.
Yep,
O,
that's
diba?
right.
I like that. Para siyang safety blanket.
Yeah, because like as mentioned earlier,
Safety net pala. Blanket. Safety net for safety net for those that did not pass the interview.
yeah. Kasi di ba kanina tinanong mo kami like either attitude or skills. So we focus on attitude, and these folks are really interested and invested to really work for us. So we offer the maximum capacity to like really help them get the job.
Eto naman, thank you so much for that. Eto naman, kasi it took me more than 10 attempts ata na mag-apply sa isang call center before I finally got the job sa Sykes. Sykes pa yung Foundever before. Sa Cebu. Yes, more than 10 attempts. Well, I would admit, I had feeling ko kasi I was one of the contributing factors kung bakit hindi ako nakapasa sa interview, because I didn't do my research. First company na pinag-applyan ko, tinanong ako, what are you applying for? CSR or TSR? Sabi ko, hindi ko nga alam kung ano yung dalawa. Di ba? So parang it is my ako din yung may may mistake, because I didn't plan ahead. I didn't do my research kung ano nga ba yung mga positions available. I didn't even know what BPO is. I didn't even know what a call center is. Gusto ko lang magtrabaho kasi sabi nila malaki yung bigayan. That was my thinking about it. I was very desperate to get a job that time. Now, to those people that have tried a lot of times already applying in a call center, pero hindi pa din nila makuha yung position, they didn't get the job, what is your words of inspiration?
Yeah, I think it's
Give up. Charing! This is not for you. No, I'm kidding.
like better apply to other industries. Charot. Char lang. Pero like to be honest, you just have to listen carefully to the feedback of your recruiters, because I believe recruiters do provide their feedback and suggestions to you guys. They're not failing you because they don't want you. They're failing you because there are some competencies that you need to also reach during the interview. So take note of those challenges that they've mentioned and work on it, because at the end of the day, you getting the job will always depend on you. So it will depend on your drive, your motivation, the reason why you need a job in the first place. So you need to use that motivation to learn and push yourself to be better. Because after all, communication skills is something that you can be learned at home, anywhere, and it can be learned anytime.
Can you give them some tips paano mapa-improve yung communication, especially when it comes to answering interview questions?
Well, first, let's focus with the basics of, the communications like grammar, tone, and etc. I think coming from the province is like really a valid experience wherein people will judge me because of my pronunciation, my tone, my accent. So it's something that really makes me feel anxious before when I speak in public in English. So ang ginagawa ko kasi dati, I know it's funny, but I use my phone and record myself. So when I record myself speaking straight English, I listen to it every night. So when I listen to myself,
yun yung alarm niya.
I usually laugh. I usually laugh at myself because, oh my God, ang awkward mo pakinggan. Parang tanga ka pakinggan. Sorry for the word. Pero that's how I really describe myself. Until then, every night I record the same script, and then I will notice some difference. And I found out that English or speaking in English is really just more of getting used to it. when you are comfortable hearing yourself speaking the language, you will find the confidence in speaking your thoughts. Kasi minsan kasi, 'di ba, for example, here in Manila, pag galing ka province, then when you speak Tagalog, ma-awkwardan ka. Nag-iba yung tono mo kasi hindi ka komportable. You're not speaking Tagalog every day. Way back where you belong. So, English is like that. You just have to be comfortable with you hearing yourself speaking the language para mag-gain mo yung confidence. Kasi we all have things to say. Kaso, we just don't have the confidence to speak. So, find that confidence and you'll probably get the job. After all, the interviews always starts with tell me something about yourself. Gain that confidence and you'll have the confidence to tell your story about yourself.
Thank you so much. What ikaw ba, Joy? Do you have any...
Very well said, Carlo.
Mag-agree ka na lang. Do you have any tip? Kasi yung na-share niya, recording his own voice, talking in English. What about you?
I think it's being very accustomed to speaking in English. Kasi ako nga galing ako ng ibang I came from a different industry where speaking in English is not a requirement. So, napansin ko lang, if you really do it every day on a daily basis, sabi nga ni Carlo, that's the right thing to do. Listen to yourself. If you are comfortable in hearing yourself speaking in ngayon. So, speaking in English, so kung komportable ka, hindi ka na, you'll have the confidence to really ace the interview. So, I think that's one good method for you to improve your communication skills.
Thank you.
Okay, so for me, my advice is that for those that for Carlo, if his advice is really to record on the phone. For those that doesn't have like a smartphone, you can stand in front of a mirror and then read an English magazine or an English newspaper, so that and then get used to it. So read it every day and then get used to it. So yeah, that's one my advice. One of my advice.
I like that the tips given is really about assessing yourself. Kasi it's very important to know kung saan antas ka na when it comes to your familiarity speaking the language. Tapos, lahat naman siguro tayo nagsimula sa ganyan eh. Wala namang ipinanganak na magaling na kaagad magsalita ng English. It's really about getting accustomed to you speaking the language. It's also really about you doing your best to learn the language. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng mag-apply ka ng trabaho tapos gusto mo makapasok agad without you doing what you're supposed to do. Diba? There are specific skill set that's required. At saka aminin na natin, working in the BPO industry, given that you will be talking to people overseas, you really have to speak the language. Diba? Hindi naman pwedeng bisayain mo sila. They wouldn't really understand that. So if you really want to work in the industry, you have to make sure that you also do your part. Ito ako sa kanya. You do your part. You study. You practice. Gusto ko yung sinabi mo na about, actually yung dalawa, ginawa ko yun before eh. Yung magsalita, I also recorded my voice over the phone. I also tried talking in front of the mirror. Yun naman, for me to be more confident. Yung sa when I recorded my voice, it was really to assess my grammar. And nung kinakausap ko yung sarili ko naman sa kaharap ng salamin, that was for me to check my posture and all that. Yeah. And also ngayon, because lahat naman pwedeng maka-access na sa internet, hindi naman kailangan meron kang smartphone. Meron namang PisoNet, diba? If you really want to study, kahit humingi ka man lang ng 5 pesos sa parents mo and then do some online mga grammar quizzes, diba? Madami naman yan. Just the basic grammar quizzes. Like yung mga on, in, at, yung mga ganon. Very simple lang. That's just for you to at least get started with your grammar. Why Foundever? Ito na lang. Because pakadami kasing call centers dito sa Philippines. And it's very important that you choose the company that you will be working for. Na-mention ko na yan kanina because it's gonna be your second home. And also because you're kind of representing the company eh. of course, magsusuot kang ID, makikita nila sa lanyard mo yung company mo. Tapos pag nakikita nila sa lanyard yung company mo, they already have an idea about saan ka nagtatrabaho and what the company is representing. So why should they choose Foundever?
For me, being in another two companies prior joining Foundever, and that's another BPO. And it's a big company as well. I may say that Foundever is actually a company that cares to its employees and values everyone and develops people. They are really focusing on growth of everyone. So like for example, like what we have mentioned earlier, so all of us came from our internal promotions, and that's something that I'm proud to say, and I want to use to encourage everyone watching this to, if you're looking for a company that really cares, where you will matter. So I think it's Foundever that you're looking for.
That's it. Naks naman. Well, ang hirap sundan. As part of the LGBTQIA community, I can say that I found my sense of belongingness in this company. Apart from me being gay, oh my God, oh my God.
What a surprise.
I just outed myself. But they valued me as an employee, as a person, and as Carlo. I was able to really find opportunities for myself because everything is open, everything is given, and chances from other companies are not that often. Sobrang hirap maganap ng right opportunity for an employee when the company is not really open to give it out. So here in Foundever, the name itself, I found everything that I was looking for. So I belong to this company, and I think you also belong to this company. So what are you waiting for? Apply now.
Wow, you can always try to find your belongingness here in Foundever. Sige, Joy.
Same.
Copy paste. Sige, go.
Again, because the company is really sincere in terms of getting people in, is really committed in terms of providing what its employees need. And finally, it's the passion for growth. So we would like to take you in, give you the opportunity. Once you're in, we'll equip you with everything that you need for you to develop. And then the commitment for growth. We would like not only for the company to grow, but also all of its employees to mutually benefit from that growth, that experience, not only Foundever, but the industry is already experiencing. So
I like that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I like that because when you work for a company, I think it's very important na meron ka ng long-term goal hindi lang siya short-term. Kasi if you think about it, nakakapagod kaya magsimula all over again. Kukuha ka pa ng mga requirements. Kukuha kang valid ID. Para makakuha kang valid ID, requirement, isa pang valid ID. Minsan nga, dalawa pa. Di ba? Just the thought of it, you doing the same thing over and over again because you have to start anew, it's very nakakapagod. And I think I like that what's really highlighted here is you've been in Foundever for 2 years, 10 years?
Yes.
12? 10 years.
That's 13 for me.
13 for you. So 5, 10, and 13 years. Meaning to say, you really found your forever here because you've grown, you got promoted, and that I also like that as what we have talked about earlier. It isn't just really about you reaching your desired position, but also knowing that we're able to help people, and we're able to help those people by helping them get the job. And in return, they're also helping whoever they are helping in the community. Thank you so much, Jeff, Carlo, and Joy, for joining us for the first part of the BPO Talks with Job Yoda, kasama yung sourcing team, the sourcing manager and directors of Foundever. And in a few, makakasama naman po natin yung mga recruiters. Tama ba? Is that correct?
And sourcers.
Yep. Yeah, the sourcers.
Yep.
Sorcerers. Yes. Sorcerer Stones. Sige. Thank you so much for gracing us today. Salamat.
Thank you.